What's up, guys and goddesses? My name is Paris Khalees. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So before we begin, you know I have to always start off my videos, or I try to always start my videos with lighting my incense, and I just got these lavender incense. I'm just gonna light it for good vibes, so we can get the energy right throughout my video. So today on my YouTube channel, as you can see by the title, I'm basically talking about my ebook that I've made, that I've taken a lot of my hard time and efforts and just energy, and I put a lot of work into it, and I really want to I've only talked about it so much on my TikTok channel, and since I'm branching over to different platforms and of course my YouTube channel, I wanted to talk about it on here, and I'm not necessarily sure yet if I want to make a series about it. I might make a series about it on my YouTube channel. I didn't want that to be the sole main, like, the reason why I kind of don't want to like make a series a little bit is because I didn't want it to be the sole full purpose of my YouTube channel, but I might make like a little mini series of it. It's so much in the ebook to talk about. It's like I can break it down into details like for a long time. That's why I said if I was to talk about it and make it a full like series, I didn't want that to be the main thing my YouTube channel is about. My YouTube channel is mainly about me and my life and just everything else in general, and just like my conscious talks. I talk about like just my conscious journey throughout my life and this lifetime, and just also I do talk about me being a mom. So, but I didn't want that to be my main, like what you call it, niche for your channel, because I want my channel to still have diversity and still have like relatability without just also being like that main thing. But yes, I did come out with an ebook. Let me know in the comments below if you want, or you know, just in general, if you think it's a good idea for me to, or if you want me to continue like talking about natural birth on my channel, and just the benefits of it and what I did and how I made my ebook, and you know, just that in general, and like what consists of my ebook, and just me giving details about how to have a natural birth, if that makes sense, and the ways like to be prepared for natural birth if that's something you're considering, or even be prepared during pregnancy in general. It doesn't have to necessarily be a natural birth. But I did want to talk about my ebook on my channel, so with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, why did I make my ebook? I made my ebook because I felt like if I was to have a mini guide, or like just a guide in general to help me during like natural birth or pregnancy, and just give the gist of everything, that would be really great. Because at the time I wanted to read more books and kind of look into it, but then I was like, is it necessary to really read books? Like, what do I really just need, like the main things? And I feel like a lot of times during pregnancy, or just being a parent and a mom in general, you can like stress about things and certain things and stuff in general that I feel like isn't as like a big stress when everything comes down to what it is. Like, it's like over stressing a lot. That was mainly for me, and I felt like if they have like a more broad topic, and also it's a topic that I know a lot about, so I felt like why not make it a guide, you know. And yes, I put my ebook on Gumroad. It will be eventually sooner or later on different things, so that you can purchase it and basically just connect with me and my topics. I do talk about my ebook a lot on my TikTok channel, which I'll keep constantly talking about it on there, and I'm thinking about starting talking about it on different platforms, but I mainly talk about it on my TikTok channel, and I might consider talking about it on this platform. So yes, the reason I made my ebook is because I had a natural birth, And at the time before I found, well, at the time while I was pregnant, and I talk about this on my channel as well, if you do see the video of me talking about natural birth, I gave birth naturally at a midwife center. I talked broadly about it, but I basically chose to have natural birth because at the time I was looking into more natural ways of living and doing things naturally. And then I had, around that time frame, I was pregnant, and then I didn't really feel fully comfortable giving birth at a hospital, so I was looking into giving birth at a midwife center or having a doula. Actually, I was looking into having a doula because I seen doulas, but I didn't know exactly like what a doula was. I had a kind of understanding, but I wasn't 1000% like sure exactly. So yes, but I ended up giving birth naturally at a midwife center with midwives instead of an actual hospital, and I give with the doula. So yes, I made an ebook that kind of prepares you for natural birth if that's something that you're looking into. And my ebook is not just solely based on natural birth. It also helps with just pregnancy in general, and a lot of natural ways to help with remedies and things that can help you throughout your pregnancy just feel better and less stressed. And it's all natural. There's natural ways I talk about in there, and I give like examples, topics, all types of stuff in there. It's also very broad. It's only 60 pages, but each page is very like to the point. It's not something that's just too much to read. It's like very much to the point and simple, which was my overall goal. Not to make it too long, but it all has consist of everything I wanted it to kind of consist of in the book. And I felt like anything that needs to be explained, and I felt like it didn't need to be over explained, because a lot of things too we do don't really necessarily too much need that I feel like during pregnancy. I'm gonna give a broad, basic, brief thing of my ebook. So basically, first talk about in my ebook, I kind of talk about just the benefits of natural birth and why you should choose natural birth, and why it's kind of like more beneficial than if you was to have a medicated birth. I'm not saying that I wouldn't suggest you to have a medicated birth. This is your body, your choice. But I felt like I talked about benefits and ways to have natural birth, and why it's how it not only benefits you as the mother, but can benefit you and your baby. But also I wanted to make a disclaimer on that, like to make sure, and even I think even if you was to have a natural birth at a midwife center, they always supposed to, mine did, make sure to check your health before considering you for natural birth if you don't need medication or anything, because health is the also very vital and very important part. You still, yes, spiritually, I talk about how to help you out spiritually and mentally, yes, but your physical has to also be very beneficial throughout, you know, my guide. And I basically just talk about those things. So talk about basically the benefits for the mother and for the child. So for example, like for the mother, an example would be just basically if you was to get like an epidural, the healing process. I talk about that. The healing process of natural birth in terms of getting the epidural. Studies, research shows that it's actually kind of more, I would say it doesn't, like most women who get epidurals, studies and research show they still have back aches and stuff from, you know, the tube like being stuck in their back, versus if they was to have a natural birth, the healing process wouldn't take as long as, like, some women still say they have like back problems years later. And so versus if you wasn't to have an epidural, and then you're like, you know, natural like, versus if you wasn't to have, and the healing process wouldn't be as long as it would be for if you was to get medicated. This is not very much concerned. I know some women who do have medicated heal just fine, but it's just studies and research shows from just everything. It's also, as well as C-sections as well, you know, stuff like that. Basically, a lot of hospitals, there's differences from midwife centers. They mainly focus more on like the fully natural birth and how to prepare for that, versus a hospital that kind of sometimes push for inducement and things such as C-sections and stuff like that, basically. things that you may not need for your child. I feel like I talk about how sometimes hospitals push for things that you may not need for your baby, and sometimes your baby, the importance of how I felt like your baby and your body will let you know when it's time for you to fully, you know, we don't have to hurry up and speed the process or anything unless there are health complications, and I can very much consider. Talk about midwives, doulas, and midwife centers. I break down the gist of midwives, doulas, and midwife centers, and I talked about this in my other video as well, which you can see in my channel as well. But basically, I just talk about a brief thing. A midwife is basically something that someone you would have at a midwife center. They're more of a licensed health professional that just focus mainly on natural births and unmedicated birth, if that makes sense. At an actual, like, you would see them at more of a center, like a place, versus almost like a hospital, but it's a midwife center. This is a doula, who a doula is just a person that's not licensed, but they're by your side. Like, most of the time you'll see a person like a doula go to the hospital with them, who help them talk the person through their birth, their like pregnancy, their labor experience, versus a midwife who actually is like the doctor, like gives birth, you know what I'm saying, helps you give birth, you catch your baby, versus a midwife who actually like is licensed and helps you actually catch your birth, actually helps you catch your baby, actually helps you give and do labor like how the doctor would if you was in the hospital. But the doula is not the one who helps you, they're just an emotional support person that's beside you, basically. Also give details about personal backstories with me, and just kind of like how my birth experience was, how I found out I was pregnant. I talk about the spiritual essence of it into my ebook, and I just kind of give a brief of that as well. I also talk about my experience with where I first got my first ultrasound, and what really concealed it for me that I really didn't want to have a hospital birth, and that it was like just a backstory of something that happened to me personally, my personal experience, and me just talking deeper on that as well. To talk about ways to help with income, savings, ways to save money as a mom, just basic things, insurance programs to sign up for, stuff like that, like ways to get food such as WIC. I talk about all types of stuff like that in there, ways to kind of save money. I put that in there. I put a couple of, I think of like websites and stuff you can look into to help you, that will help you like save money. Just stuff that just helps you save money in general. I'm just gonna put it that as right. Put red flags basically to look out for in doctors, such as doctors that are maybe too kind of passive to you, or maybe not hearing you, because I put that in there solely because of the importance of your voice during your pregnancy and speaking up, and how important it is, because also during your pregnancy you are in a more vulnerable state emotionally, spiritually, and physically, and sometimes at that time it's hard to really process. No matter how strong you may think you are mentally, spiritually, whatever, it's kind of hard to be in a state of where it's like, this is what is going on with me, you know, because you know your body the best. You're the one inside of your body and your vessel. And so I think the importance of like saying like no and stuff, and just like accepting, you know, just not just accepting what maybe the doctor might be telling you it is. If you feel it in your heart something that might be wrong or anything, you know, I just put the red flags in there to look out for in doctors, and I put a lot of them, like basically if they're not listening to your needs, if they kind of pass you off, if they're kind of more trying to push this upon you, like, you know. That's another reason why I was looking into natural birth and going to a midwife center versus hospital. I didn't want to have to be told that I just had to do this unless it was like medically and very much important for me to do for my body and this and that. I didn't want to have to be told that. I wanted to be comfortable. I wanted to be in a very comfortable state where I felt comfortable, where I trusted my doctor, whoever I had, you know, who didn't make me feel like it just has to be this way, or just kind of almost passive aggressive. I was not going, I didn't want to deal with it at all, in the slightest of it. So then there, how to prepare for your first appointment, making sure to call, not just because pregnancy tests can also be flimsy. The reason I put this in there, a major reason why I put in there reasons to prepare for your like first appointment and like how to prepare for it, is because my first test had came back negative, and I believed in my gut and my intuition, you know, told me that I was positive, it was wrong, the test was wrong, either way it goes. And I had a feeling, I'm just like, the reason I took a test anyways, because I was feeling like I was. So I think the importance of very much still going to the doctor, regardless of maybe even if you're being young and you don't want your folks to know, I still think it's very important to go ahead and go to the doctor if you can, or at least call the doctor to set up an appointment and to get things like, you know, situated. And I basically talk about how you have to prepare, basically call them ahead of time, let them know when your last period was, basically all those things, what you would expect at your first appointment, what most, you know, the questions basically you might have. Put the importance of your intuition and your gut feelings in there. Of course, the importance of saying no and how no is a full sentence. I put that in there. I was just very big on it because at the time you are in a vulnerable state, and there was a lot of things that I felt like even during my pregnancy I might have just let slide with people in general, that I could have been more standing up about. But at the time, in the midst of the whole situation, you're more in a vulnerable mental space, and it's sometimes hard to really see as well. During my pregnancy, I had brain fog at times. And like it kind of impacted me just remembering everything. Like there's times now where I'm still remembering things from my pregnancy I have to really think about in the time, because everything is changing. That's mental, physical, and spiritual. Everything is changing. And so it's hard to sometimes stay focused, if that makes sense. Like what they call it, mom brain. Yep. And okay, a big gist of my ebook is all my pregnancy symptoms. I'm not gonna go and list every symptom. I might do a video on my YouTube channel just listing every symptom and basically breaking it down to kind of promote my ebook even more as well. And also just, you know, talk about my experience and what symptoms I experienced. I might do that. But I have a full each page, like I have a list of all my symptoms, and I have a full each page of each symptom that I had personally. I only chose the symptoms that I had. I didn't describe anything I didn't have because I wanted to describe it from my own personal experience of what I had firsthand, if that makes sense. Like such as brain fog, I talk about blurry eyesight, just going off the head. I talk about feeling nauseous and sick during my first trimester. And not only do I talk about my symptoms and what I went through, I also break down natural ways to help you with those symptoms during that time, so that you won't be feeling them as much, or that it can kind of go away a little bit, or you can feel them less and make you feel better and able to operate each day. I also talk about, let's see, another symptom. I talk about hormonal acne that I had during the first trimester. I talk about my cravings that I had and all the weird cravings I might have had, and just all types of stuff. So I talk about all my symptoms in the full like gist, but it's a lot of them. So I talk about them individually. So yes, so that, and natural ways to treat the symptoms. Hint on natural ways. So about hypnobirthing in my book. Hypnobirthing, if you don't know what it is basically like, in ways of me broadly explaining it off the head, it's kind of just like, you know, when you meditate and you say affirmations, it's almost like that intertwined a little bit, if that makes sense. It's like when you're doing meditation and breath work, but it's like also you're speaking affirmations during the meditation, or you might be listening to someone during the meditation, or you can just do it, you know, yourself. It's almost like kind of like, they call it hypnobirthing. It's kind of like hypnotizing a little bit, but not really. Like, it's kind of like putting you in a more hypno state of like, okay, like you'll be listening to a hypnobirthing session, on your phone, because you can find them on YouTube, like free ones. People, you know, there's a couple I had listened to during my pregnancy. I didn't listen to as many as I wanted to, and I feel like I should have. It would have probably made me feel less stressed out, and you know, in that way, and letting myself know, hey, I can do this. A lot of them consist of you imagining a place that you can go to during your pregnancy where it's calmer and where you can finally take deep breaths, because it's very important to breathe during labor, so that you can be experienced during labor. Hypnobirthing is helping you to prepare for labor. It's